Police in Germany, they're investigating former Pink Floyd frontman Roger Waters after he wore what closely resembled a Nazi SS uniform during a concert in Germany. Now, performing in Berlin on May 17th, Waters wore, which is here, the long black overcoat, the red armband. He even aimed at, well, what was said to be an imitation gun at the audience in a performance that Waters claims was meant to show, quote-unquote, opposition to fascism. The symbols and imagery, to be fair, are similar to those that appear in 1982's The Wall, but for Germany, it went too far. And the German police spokesman said, quote, "We're investigating on suspicion of incitement to public hatred because the clothing worn on stage could be used to glorify or justify Nazi rule," close quote. So strong words there from officials. But before we take a closer look, here's more of Roger Waters in recent years, seemingly always involved in scandals around alleged anti-Semitism.
I've never done or spoken a single anti-Semitic word or act.
The Israelis invented, let's kill people by kneeling on their necks and cutting off the blood supply of the carotid artery to the brain.
They'll kill everybody on the planet in order to fulfill the prophecies that they believe to be their God-given literature. They believe that they're chosen, unless they believe that God, that He has actually decided that they are very, very special, that they're exceptional, and that they should be served by every other human being on the planet.
Jarring as always to be up front with all of Roger Waters' antics. But we're joined by Polina Garayev now, our 24 News Europe correspondent. Polina, looking at Germany here, look, I'm curious about the perspective in the country to begin with. You know, what's the perspective in Germany on the antics of Roger Waters this week?
Well, this criminal investigation definitely sends a strong message that such comments are unacceptable, that such displays are unacceptable on German soil. Of course, the comment that we heard from this official that has launched this investigation is also quite unusual because, of course, displaying Nazi symbols is illegal in Germany. But this is not actually the offense that Waters is being investigated over. He's being investigated for incitement, meaning that authorities take this very seriously, although I am doubtful that it's actually going to lead to any sort of legal consequences for Waters, especially as the singer and also his supporters pointed out, he is dressed in character, the character of Pink Floyd, the protagonist of The Wall, the album and the movie. That is actually this depressed, traumatized singer that sees himself as a fascist dictator. So there is an excuse for such a display, but of course it is very difficult to see this in Germany. And we also, of course, seen attempts before this concerts. I say 5 concerts actually taking place in Germany, with the last one taking place tonight in Frankfurt. Before those concerts, there were attempts to ban them, anticipating such antics, and those have failed, unfortunately, especially in Frankfurt, where both the city and the state, where they own actually the venue where the concert tonight is taking place, they took action. They withdrew from the contract with the organizers of this contract, and it was only when courts intervened and actually they allowed these concerts to go through. But where authorities have failed, Jewish organizations are planning to take action, where we're going to see demonstrations tonight outside the venue where Roger Waters will be holding his final show in Germany. That venue, I should also stress, holds some special significance here in Germany. The Festhalle in Frankfurt is the venue where during the Kristallnacht, the November pogroms of 38, Jews, hundreds of Jews from the city were around it, and before they were being sent to concentration camps. So, of course, the fact that such a show, such a display, but such a provocative, and some might call him an anti-Semitic performer, is being held is, of course, very difficult to bear for Germans, for Jewish organizations here, and also for the authorities.
Look, Waters, is well known to be critical of Israel. Okay, he's taken many opportunities to do this, but during this Berlin performance, the name of Anne Frank was largely displayed as well. I mean, Israel's foreign ministry, criticizing the musician here. What is this about? His use of Anne Frank or this other Jewish imagery.
Indeed, this is also something that is being criticized by the Israeli foreign minister, although I would stress that this is separate from the criminal investigation that is being launched by the Berlin authorities. During a different segment of the show, names of both Anne Frank and also Palestinian journalist Shirin Abu Akleh, who was shot during an exchange of fire between Palestinian militants and Israeli forces, in Jenin. They were killed, and the fact that both names were being displayed in the same context was something that drew a lot of criticism. It's being seen as relativizing the Holocaust, something that again is unacceptable in Germany, especially as under the name of Shirin Abu Akleh, it was mentioned that her crime was being Palestinian, which is of course a misrepresentation of what actually happened in this unfortunate incident. This is also drawing a lot of criticism here in Germany, but it's very much in line with his past comments where he was, Roger Waters was using the Holocaust as also in his comments regarding or towards German authorities, saying that they should take a tougher stand towards Israel because of the Holocaust, something that, of course, Germany is not willing to hear.
Paulina Garayev, always good to speak with you. Eye-opening on the latest in and around Germany. Thanks for joining us.